Can we all just rise up and give him a big round of applause?
Everyone, please rise up. Keep clapping till he joins us on the stage.
Very good evening again. Normally, I don't have a stage fear, but I think this is the first time. I'm really feeling, I don't know how it's going to go for the next 45 minutes.
Don't worry, I'm not going to eat you.
That's not the fear, Srikanth, but
Because I was told it's a fireside chat, but I don't see a fire here anyway.
because that's in my heart, Srikanth. So, though we saw the video and he was introduced, but I would like to take this opportunity, Srikanth, just for 2-3 minutes to talk about you again.
That's okay, we'll save that time and move on directly.
Okay. So, team, it's with immense honor and great delight that I stand before you today to introduce a man whose life narrative is nothing short of extraordinary, a beacon of resilience and a testament to indomitable human spirit. Mr. Srikanth Bolla, born into a world that was dark to his eyes, Mr. Srikanth's vision has always been clear in his mind. His journey, marked by an unyielding resolve, began with a dream to break the shackles of societal constraints and soar in the realms of science and engineering. Faced with an education system in India that barred the visually challenged from study of science and mathematics, Mr. Srikanth did not falter. With the unwavering support of his school management, he embarked on a legal battle against this restrictive practice, emerging victorious and forever altering the course of educational law. His thirst for knowledge and excellence propelled him to hallowed halls of the MIT, where he earned his name in the history as the first international visually impaired student in the Sloan School of Management under the MS program. In the year 2012, Mr. Srikanth, alongside his business partner Ravi Mantha, laid the foundation for Bollant Industries. This venture was not merely a business, it was a mission to create a sustainable future and a testament to Mr. Srikanth's dedication to social entrepreneurship. Bollant Industries stands tall today not only as a successful enterprise with a valuation more than 500 crores, with 500 employees, but as a harbinger of hope, providing dignified employment to hundreds of individuals with disabilities. The company's commitment to environment through recycling of waste plastic and production of eco-friendly paper and packaging mirrors Mr. Srikanth's commitment to societal change. His vision transcends the pursuit of profit. It is a vision that empowers, that transforms perceived limitations into unparalleled strengths. Team, Mr. Srikanth's life is a narrative that now graces the silver screen, inspiring countless hearts and minds. As we welcome him today, let us not only applaud his achievements, but also embrace the ethos of possibility and change that he embodies. Please join me again in extending a warm and heartfelt welcome to our chief guest, a true visionary and inspiration to all of us, Mr. Srikanth Bolla.
Thank you so much, sir. You have called me as a guest speaker, but you have given the whole story of mine. So, Abhi, I don't have anything to say, perhaps.
No, sir, abhi picture baki hai. I'm sure there is a lot of things to speak.
But thank you so much, guys. I think I applaud the leadership of Sopra Steria. I have been here for some time. I mean, I'm amazed at the vision and the challenging status quo to achieve more business in 2025. And what you have been doing is marvelous, and wish you all the best for a great success ahead and great year ahead. So as Mr. Ram was saying in the last presentation, that this time is very difficult. And I want to tell you, no time is difficult if we have vision to dream big and work hard and let the universe help us succeed better. When you have leadership who can turn impractical dreams into reality, then what's wrong in aiming the sky and reaching somewhere where we can do?
Absolutely, Srikanth, and that's what I actually recollect from the movie. If there is one thing which has remained in my mind after seeing the movie was, as you saw in the video, Mr. Abdul Kalam had visited the school, and he was asking all the students, what would you like to be when you grow up? And each of them answered an engineer and a doctor and something else. And I think he had the boldness of saying, I want to be the next president of India.
You know, that, again, I was able to say that, and real dream and manifestation began in my mind while I was sitting in Rashtrapati Bhavan. The reason was, again, a challenge there. Before President could walk in, we were told by the protocol that we cannot meet President, go and meet him. So I was thinking, I have no option, right? I mean, I don't see, maybe with my physical eye, but of course my vision is very clear in my mind by birth. That's a different issue. So I was thinking to myself, today if I'm not allowed to meet him and shake hands, maybe perhaps feel the long hair that he has, I'm going to push him and go sit in that chair and become the first visually challenged president of this country. The speed breaker there, or perhaps the potential challenge, is what allowed me to create that lifetime ambition. It's not that, my dear friends. Every time I'm faced with a challenge, I know there is a better opportunity. That is what inspires me to basically turn every challenge into an opportunity and overcome the people's negativity. Whenever anyone said, Srikanth, you can't do this, I look up to the world and says, it's only me who can do this, and no one else. This did not happen only in Rashtrapati Bhavan. Every day is a day of improvement for me, a day of opportunity for me. Because by birth, my birth itself was questioned with a challenge, ki I am not fit to live. And it was my job to prove to the world that it's only me who is fit to live, to ensure all of you are empowered, inspired, and empathized. And that is the pillar of my journey ever since I was born. I think Sunilji may have many questions, but I'll just answer before he asks. Everyone nowadays comes to me and says, Srikanthji, you have become a hero for everyone now. How does it feel like? And I always laugh and say, Abhi mujhe hero banna nahi hai yaar. I am always a born hero. Maybe Rajkumar Rao must have become a hero by acting my role, but I was anyway hero, right? And unfortunately, again, here is a challenge for me. I was not involved in the cast crew and decision making other than the script. So this time, when the sequel 2 comes out, I'll ensure I'll only act my role so that I can do a better job. Again, that's a dream for me to prove to people, right? I mean, so every possibility, every challenge is a possibility. Every challenge for me is an opportunity to become a better person. Look, even when you look at designing products in the company, you can't get it right in the first attempt. You go do again and again and again, and then you ultimately get it. I think every time you get it wrong, that's when I think, how can I do it better? And for me, failure is the best way to be successful. And success for me is not a one-stop journey. It's a journey of collective efforts by all the people around me and not a solo thing, right? I mean, I'm lucky to have great well-wishers, great support. Just as you have great leadership, I had great mentors who had propelled me to this level that I'm able to tell the tale of my own story. So to begin with, every challenge for you is an opportunity to improve. So 2025, I know you're thinking it as a challenging year. That means that's going to be the most wonderful year because you're going to do things that you have not done in the past to ensure you convert all your practical dreams into reality. Because dreams are never practical, my dear friends. They're always impossible and impractical. Dream is not something that you see in the sleep. It is something that doesn't even let you sleep until the goal is achieved.
Thank you, Srikanth. And just to let you all know, Mr. Srikanth was in Ludhiana last night. He was running a seminar. And, we were trying to work out how to get him to Delhi. Obviously, flights were impractical. And then he only suggested to Tarun that, no, don't worry, you send me a car and I'll come by car. I'm sure he was not worried at all, but I was more worried that I was going to come all the way from Ludhiana, which is at least an 8 hours drive, and that too in the night.
No, I'll tell you on this, right? I'm not worried or fearful because I can't see fear anyway. we are all born with this, we as human beings are all born with this invisible disability called fear. You know, when you see your own shadow, you feel fearful at night. But since I'm a blessed child, because by birth I don't have eyesight, so therefore I became fearless to born with, and I can do anything, I can walk into anything and ensure jo kuch ho jaye dekh lenge. I think that feeling of let us see what happens is what allows me to overcome anything or any hurdle. I know the borders, Ambala border was closed, so we had to take an extra drive and come all the way to Delhi. But again, this teaches you to work under any kind of circumstances. You know, when I was born, everybody said, Srikanth, you are a zero. Therefore, you are not fit to live, and advised my parents to throw me out because they think I would become a useless burden or useless creature for them. And even for my parents, right, in South India, they have neither seen an apple nor seen a baby born with both the eyes closed. So the term apple in the eye must have meant anything for them. Not anything, right? I mean, they have never seen. So even they were in shock. But in spite of that, everybody advised them to throw me out. But even out of huge devastation, they were able to think and beyond their boundaries and say what we need to do. That's when compassion is something that prevailed in their hearts rather than the agony that they were seeing. You know, that is what made them to embrace me against all odds and give me everything and bring me up against all odds. He's saying, Srikanth may not have eyesight today, but he is born with purer, clearer, and 100% vision. You know, today, if you look at vision and sight, we all think it's the same. But they are not true, my dear friends. Vision is purely for the mind, and sight is purely for the body and the eye. A person without sight can conquer the world, whereas a man or woman without vision can do nothing. Vision is something that you and I cannot see. It can only be embraced and felt with respect and dignity. And vision is what will allow you to see beyond the possibility and beyond this room. What can you see? You can see me. Of course, I'm looking pretty. And you would be able to tell me whether I fit for Rajkumar Rao or not. That's a different issue. But I can see beyond all of you with the help of technology, with the help of dream, with the help of my goal, and with the help of destiny and vision. You know, vision is what can allow me to see beyond the fear and beyond anything. Because there is technology out there, there's everything out there. So I tell people, you may when they come and ask me, how much vision do you have? I will laugh and say, I have 100% vision. That's when they get bogged down and say, man, how much do you see? Oh, then I laugh and say, okay, do you mean my eyesight? That's when people realize how distinctive the two things are. And for me, vision is what matters. And I was brought up by saying that I don't have any limitation. And that is what I realized today. With the amount of compassion that my parents had given me, I truly have no limitation. Because compassion is what allows us to become richer in our day-to-day life, my dear friends. It's not all the money or anything in this world. That is why my parents are the luckiest people, richest people at heart, and I'm the luckiest man today telling this tale. Because we as leaders, even in the corporate world, compassion and empathy is what really plays out, in spite of having sympathy. I know whenever you look at someone who's blind or physically challenged, immediately you become sympathetic. Even the hotel today, maybe perhaps thought too much beyond their level and gave me a room which is accessible, so-called accessible room. You know, when you don't see, how does it really matter what room you stay, right? I mean, in spite of that, they create barriers for you by giving so many rods and holders and the chair and the bucket and extra things out there. I mean, that's how people think. People think that's the way to do, show help and help people. But that's sympathy, my dear friends. The way you show empathy is to think what kind of meaningful opportunities you can create around people for people around you. That's what I have done ever since I realized the meaning of empathy. And empathy is what drives us, and it is what is going to create our increased business outcomes. I know you might be thinking about, DEI. Even the other day, Trump was talking about DEI. And I'm telling you, DEI, when you practice it as an intention, it will increase your business outcomes. But if you practice that as a CSR, then we are not doing anything. We are just showing sympathy. This is the distinction I really want to bring out, because we can only achieve the fairer and the better world for all of us, even the better and fairer growth for Sopra Steria, when you make the company inclusive, when you make the culture inclusive, when you make your thought process cleaner and purer. That's when nothing can stop you from achieving any of your goals.
Thank you, Srikanth. Absolutely, I think vision, sight, empathy, compassion. And I can tell you at Sopra Steria, we've always been practicing this. In fact, some of the things we don't take it as part of CSR. Today we have 4 people who are visually impaired with listening and talking, but they've been working with us for 5 years and they're not under the CSR program.
I think today we need to re-term that as visually challenged than visually impaired, because they are not impaired by any sense.
Absolutely.
They are challenged in in all the ways possible, because impairment is again restricted to the body.
Okay.
And they don't have any impairment to their body. Maybe they don't see, but they can offset that with the power of vision. So therefore, people who are not blessed with the eyesight are blessed with the power of compassion, power of vision, and power of sensibility. Therefore, they are specially abled.
Absolutely, I fully agree with you. And by the way, Srikanth, in middle of the day, we had to change his room. He said, I'm not going to stay in this room. I need a one, which is for normal people. So I think we finally managed to get that.
No, I think, I always want to stay as you are, Sunilji. Because I don't take help where help is not required. And I don't stay. Even one example I'll give you. If I go to airport little early, sometimes people ask me, sir, we have more time. Do you want to sit here or do we go to the gate? I tell them, I'm not going to sit there, because it's not for people to sit here. Gate is a place where everybody will wait. There only I'll wait. Because I don't want to be unique in any manner possible and make all the eyes fall on you. Because again, whenever people see you, they don't think about anything. But when the people see me, people immediately sympathetically look at me. So other thing, just before I came here, Tarunji, who had been coordinating everything, who came to my room and said, wow, you look sharp. And he was asking me, how well you dress. So I didn't say this to Tarunji, but this is the question everybody asks me. Ki, Are yaar, how can you dress so well, perfectly to the event? And I tell people, boss, if you dress black and if you put a green shirt or something else, people think you're following some fashion. But if I don't put up proper matching, people think because I don't see, I don't know how to wear matching shirt and pant. So I have to pay extra attention to ensure that I can in fact see. That's how I manage life.
Thank you, Srikanth. I think we'll just take a step back. At times when students from India go to foreign universities, they prefer not to come back. And unfortunately, it's the same with my son, who's in SF. And then we also get to meet youngsters who do not realize how they want to shape their future in early school days and even college. You, on the other hand, not only took the stand for what you aspire to become, but you came back living the aspirational American dreams behind and started a sustainable company that has revenues more than 150 crores, with late Mr. Ratan Tata and Mr. Kalam as investors. What was going on in your mind when you decided to come back to India and start Bollant Industries? When and how did you meet the entrepreneur within you? And how did you convince people of the viability of this idea? I know it has 3 questions.
Oh, yeah. This is a big question, so you better sit relaxed and then enjoy the answer. So, when you look at aspiration, when I look at aspiration, the meaning is different for me. When you look at aspiration for your leadership, it is different. And for all of you, it is different, right? For me, aspiration that did not stem from American dream. It stemmed from making change that I want to see in India. When I was born, I had to face the challenge of getting myself accepted to live in the society. Then, when I joined a school far away from my village, It was challenging to say the least because I had to cross many blocks to get to school without the privilege of eyesight. Let me tell you, all my senses were keenly developed, simply surviving walking on the village roads for 5 kilometers without the privilege of eyesight. The other thing that probably shaped me more than anything else was what happened every day when I get to school. Nobody acknowledged my presence, nobody would talk to me, nobody cared that why do I even come there? So I sat in the last bench wallowing in my loneliness. At that point of time, now that I think, Lord Gautam Buddha would have had similar experience when he sat in Lumbini before he got enlightened. But as a 6-year-old, I wouldn't knew about Gautam Buddha. I just wanted to play with everybody, want to basically have a good life. But that was the first time I felt like I'm the loneliest child in this world. Not that I don't have better things to do or have no lunchbox to eat, but I was made lonely by the perceptions of the people. You know, loneliness and poverty goes together, and that's what I realized when I was left alone in that school. And when I came to Hyderabad, it was a huge place. I mean, I was access to everything. Believe me, for a frog who is swimming in the water, once you take it out, world looks very bright. Even for me, that was when my liberation began. I was access to special schools, special library, a peer group that I've in, and world-class teachers, whatnot. That was the first time I realized that if I'm going to work hard, I might as well aim as high as possible. You know, God can only give us starting circumstances, but we create our own destiny. The future is in our hands with enough randomness to make things interesting and less predictable, my dear friends. This is the belief that I began to realize at Hyderabad. I know it is not a challenging transition for an 8-year-old kid away from his parents for the first time, but the stakes were higher. You know, think about it. A person working in a quarry from morning to evening is working harder than any of us in this room, but her productivity is not enough to build something meaningful or let alone feed 3 meals a day. This is why I tell you, exposure at the right age to right things is the most important thing. But what do we do with that exposure? Purely depends on our hard work and talent. And that is why perhaps your leadership is sitting here to give you that right exposure, right vision, and right steering ahead to steer the company and the growth for years to come, I believe. And that is the exposure that also led me to aim high and conquer everything and tell people, whoever said no to me, I would climb over their head to proceed to the next level. You know, this is the secret in life. The definition of success is nothing but yes, seeing yes wherever you look. I am one of the lucky ones, right? The setbacks I had in life enabled me to gain more exposure to not only reject IIT coaching and IITs when they said we don't want you, and went on to study at MIT. When the Board of Education told me you cannot study science, that's when I said, you're not the one to decide what do I want to do. It's me who has to decide what do I want to do. And therefore embarked on a legal battle, fought for 10 months, and finally achieved won the case and achieved the GO, which says Srikanth Bolla can allow to study science. I did this for not only for myself, my dear friends. Maybe I did this for myself, but that has impacted the whole generation. Now, if any blind student walks into any college and say, I want to become an engineer, they will be given a red carpet because Srikanth Bolla has done the change. For me, walking away from the problem was never an option. In fact, on that note, you will have two choices in your life. Either you can run away from the problem or fight against the problem. For me, running was never an option because if I start running on the stage, I will fall down and get hurt. Rather, I would stand here and fight with Sunil ji. Wo 4 marega, kam se kam I'll hit 2 in return. I think this has become a DNA of hard work and success for me. And with that dream, I aimed at American University because when the IITs and everybody said no, that's when I wanted to prove to the world ki, dekho main kya kar sakta hoon. That's how I went beyond the boundaries of India and studied in one of the best schools of the world. Even when I was a young kid, when the whole society was challenging, Srikanth, you're only fit to beg. That's when I proved to them that I can become the cricketer for India, international chess player from India to play for India, and become and can do anything and everything that if you can dream to make it a reality. Ice skating, swimming, diving, playing anything was never an obstacle for me. I know you might wonder, how can you do archery without even seeing? As I said before, both my eyes are glittering in my mind, so I can shoot better than you can. And you know, when I got to MIT, that's when I began thinking, what do I want to do with my career? Do I want to settle down here, or do I have to go back? You know, this is a question everybody asked me there, but the answer was very clear from the beginning. I was brought to this world by supreme power to do something different than anyone. So I grew up, my parents gave me this life to do something meaningful for the entire world. When many companies offered me a job after I come back, I told them I'd only accept your offer if I don't become the President of India. And this is the statement Abdul Kalam ji always talked about wherever he goes, wherever he went to, whenever he used to speak. I mean, so, you know, let me tell you, for a change to happen, you need some bakras, or so-called leaders. And I am that bakra for the change in India. And if that is the case, how can I settle down in America? I know it must be luxurious to debate on things like whether our planet is 4 billion year old or 7,000 year old, or what point of photos becomes a human being. But here in India, we have big problems to solve, including providing skills for people who are unemployed or unskilled, about 90% of them, of the entire population, and many more. That is why I am very, very happy to come back and work in India to make India a $5 trillion economy and empower and empathize the power of youth. You know, India has the greatest power of youth and greatest power of human potential. You know, we're all talking about AI nowadays, open AI and much more taking over. Let me tell you, my dear friends, emotions cannot be taken over by AI. Dream cannot be taken over by AI. Vision cannot be taken over by AI. Therefore, we need that human missiles to fire up India, or to make India a beautiful nation. And that is the power of youth in the country. Whole world is looking at India for deliveries, for customer service, for much more, right? I mean, for Sopra Steria to be a global company, they need India to give good deliveries. That's why perhaps we are having leadership kickoffs in India to inspire the whole global groups and global companies. And that is why I tell you, Indian entrepreneurs and Indian employees are the best for the whole world. You know, if you look at entrepreneurship, before I close, it's a beautiful spiritual journey, yet it is very lonely. Because no one wants to understand why entrepreneurs want to work so hard, take huge risks, and put ourselves through a roller coaster. Even today, if you go and ask my father, what do you want Srikanth to do? He would happily smile and say, I want him to get a government job and get married to a pretty girl. I know how it is, right? The thought of working for someone else, let alone for you, fills me with total dread. That's why I became an entrepreneur. I am such a rebel, no one would employ me. Because people like me wants to create the way systems should be. So we would go and fiddle with all your systems. Therefore, everybody says, no, we don't want to hire you. Therefore, I have to build my own company, not for myself, but to give hope for millions of people and livelihoods for millions of people, and to protect sustainability and environment, to give cleaner and greener air, products, and future for the whole world.
Thank you, Srikanth. And just to let you know, this company, Sopra Steria, was founded in 1968 by Mr. Pierre Pasky. Today he's 89 and he still comes to office 4 days a week.
Oh, wow.
So then you know that what kind of entrepreneur spirit our company has. Okay, so just going back to your film, in the film, there were touch points showing elements like success and fame getting into someone's head. So how in real life, Srikanth ensures that as a leader, he never fails? What kind of leadership issues, fails lead to such situations? Or rather, I should ask you, what is that one leadership mantra that, you follow without fail and which you would like to tell our leaders?
So I think Sunil ji had been kind enough. He didn't say you became too egoistic in the movie. I know that's what he's thinking in the mind when he asked this question.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we'll attack that point first. You know, for people who had been who had been insulted, discriminated all through his or her life, what would you expect out of them? They become more resilient, they become more stronger, tougher, and perhaps you call them as egoistic. So people sometimes do think that I am arrogant. But when you look at the background of leaders like me, everybody looks tough, everybody looks stubborn. The stubbornness is not about arrogance or not about ego. It's about why this cannot be done. It will be done. Because we know it can be done. But everybody around us will say, no, this cannot be done. Because we can see the possibility beyond the no. But some people like, maybe people like some of you may not see that in a real sense. You think, no, this cannot be done. The reason is fear, as I said before. The second thing is, you don't believe in your own spark to begin with. As I said, one cannot create something by sitting in the lap of luxury, my dear friends. In fact, our brains are hardwired to produce our best efforts only when we face hardship. And for me, hardship is different, and for you, it is different. You might be wondering, how can you face hardship? But for me, every day is a hardship, all through my 33 years of my journey. I face so much of hardship in my life that it has become an addiction for me. But for you, it is a very new thing. It's like taking an AI tool and getting it done for you. You can just go to ChatGPT and say, how can I face hardship? Maybe it will give you some answer. But I can tell you, I don't know, perhaps someone in the audience can look at it, and I can challenge ChatGPT cannot give you right answer. But I can tell you, you can only face hardship by setting up a higher goal than what you can reach. That's when you will be able to push beyond the boundaries. And this is what we as leaders believe. But you think, no, you talk about time, you talk about this thing, that thing, and this cannot be done. No, there's nothing in life that says impossible. For me, science says everything is impossible until you do it. And the same dialogue, they took it from my own statement and put it in the movie. Because this is what I really believe in. So when the movie, when my partners and founders say that, no, it's not right time for growth and you can't win this award, I always tell them, why are you so pessimistic? You can do it. And in fact, I have done it and shown them, right? This is the difference. That's why when you see it on the screen, you feel like I became arrogant. But let me tell you, my dear friends, for rebellious and change-seeking or change-making leaders like me, having that little bit of arrogance is a beauty than having underconfidence. Underconfidence is a killer, but arrogance is a blessing. If you have arrogance, you can always steer it to make sure you come onto the right track. But having underconfidence will always kill you and pull you down from where you want to be in life. Because whenever I felt like, whenever someone says, I can't do it, that is what keeps me going. Because for you, I know in your life, no one may challenge you every day. That's why your fire in you may become extinguished. But for me, everybody challenges me every day. Therefore, my fire is always glowing and is always firing without any fuel. But the only fuel is aim to become better and aim to be the better person. I think that's what will allow me to dream big and work hard every day. And for me, as I said, any awards that I win are not the symbol of success. They are just the byproducts of my hard work and talent. So today, when I won the doctorate last month, I just took it as a regular award and just forgot it. And said, because for me, it's just one more step up to my destiny of becoming the first president of India. I have many more steps to climb. See, if I'm not still on the top, then why should I celebrate? See, every award that I win will inspires me to get more, will give me more hunger to eat more. I'm never, I may not, my stomach may be full, but my eyes want more. Because greed for growth is always firing in me. I am never satisfied with anything. For me, every day is a new day. Today, if I begin this day, before I sleep, I have to achieve something new. Otherwise, I feel like I have wasted this time. Let me tell you, 24 hours in a day is the biggest time. We all think we cannot manage it. That's because we don't know how to manage it. But it's not that we don't have time. We have enough time in our hands. But if we know how to manage it, then we can do justice to our families, to our work life, and to our companies, to everybody. तो आप अपना बीबी लात नहीं मारेगा.
Okay, so since you mentioned about marrying a pretty woman, so if I can ask you that question, obviously from the film we know that you have a very beautiful family.
Yeah, that's
and
a beautiful question. We have to talk about it.
Yes.
Not about my beautiful wife, but it's about two important things in life. It's about visualization and manifestation. I'll tell you, so Sunil ji actually is a very, very good panelist. He is doing this fireside as if he's not asking a question, but bringing in different lessons for me to talk about. So I think we should clap for him. He's the best.
No, thank you for your...
I want to tell you today from this stage, he's the best moderator I ever had so far. I have done many fireside chats, but even the TV anchors couldn't do a good job.
Wow.
So he's just as if he's flowing the conversation so well. I don't know whether you have observed this or not. He's not technically asking the question, but pushing in different anecdotes and different points.
But thank you, Srikanth. My appraisal is done because my bosses are here. So
I think you will get a promotion. Anyway, so see, we talked about vision. So how do you transform that vision into reality? So for me, it's about visualization and manifestation. Since I don't see with physical eyes, all that I do is visualize myself that where I want to be 5 years down the lane or 10 years down the lane. I can clearly see in my eyes that I can portray the picture in front of me what I'm doing next. That's the beautiful strength that I got in my life. It's about manifesting anything that you want to do. When I was studying in a special school, I had this fancy, nice dream of becoming a doctor. When I realized that I can't become a surgeon and operate bodies without the privilege of eyesight, perhaps maybe I can do it with the robots and things like that. But again, I'm not doing that job, right? Someone else is doing that job. So when I realized that I can't do, that's when I thought, TK, if I don't become a doctor, it's fine. At least let me marry a doctor, which is easy, and let me become an engineer. And when I manifested this when I was in school, so after 10 to 15 years, there is this girl came chasing out of madness that somebody wants to marry me who is a doctor by profession. So I thought maybe AI is doing some trick on me. So I ignored the messages on Facebook, Instagram, and everywhere. And she kept on trying and trying and trying by different means, but no luck to her. So she started drawing all my pictures available in public domain using pencil art and sending couriers to office. That's when everybody began teasing, ki someone is trying to eye on you. I said, Hari, who is going to eye someone who doesn't have eyes here? That's when I thought that she's not eyeing me, but she was eyeing my beautiful character and the personality. That's when we did some CBI inquiry and found that she's a doctor, studying in so-and-so school, comes from a modest family, and that's when I said, okay, chalo hum milenge. So when she came and met me in Hyderabad, I was the first one to propose, my dear friends. When you see a right person in front of you, you will not take time, you will not hesitate. I think every decision in business is also that way. You immediately say, yes, this has to be done. So within 20, I made her wait for 2 years, but I could not wait for 20 days. I went to her place and said, I am ready to marry you. I think that's the way we got together beautifully well, and I now have a beautiful family. We are blessed with a beautiful daughter of 11 months now.
Oh.
Again, this was a manifestation came true. We always wanted to have a daughter. I even told my wife, if we get son, I'm going to give it to someone else. So I don't know. I was so madly in love to raise a daughter and to grow into apple of my eye. And you believe me, God has been so kind. He has blessed with a beautiful daughter who has beautiful eyes, and people say, your eyes is now in the form of Nayana. So that's why my wife named my daughter Nayana, who is the apple of my eye for the future.
Thank you, Srikanth ji. So let's start a fireside chat now.
Fire kahan hai? Fire is not there. No.
Okay, so just maybe very quick questions with one-liners. So what's the first thing you do when you get up in the morning?
Wow, that's a complicated question. But I think I pick up the phone and see how many chats are there, how many calls are there to respond. I think that's all of us do that, and I am no exceptions to that. Since I run a manufacturing company, I want to ensure how the night went by, and I will pick up the phone and see what is there for me.
So since we're talking about prettiness, so who's your favorite Bollywood actress?
I think my wife.
But I think we didn't see her in the movie, so...
No, she's not a Bollywood actor, but she's a reality actor because she has to manage me, my daughter, and the company now. So she's no short than an actor because she has a bigger role to play. Housewife is the biggest role to play. Yeah, so I think I like her because she manages me very well. I mean, people can't manage me well. I have a lot of expectations. I'm very quick. And I'm a very tough boss, so to manage me and the company, it's not that easy. So my wife is easily taking up that role, and she's putting up with me because I don't spend much time at home. Rather, I spend all the time talking to beautiful people like you and spending all the time with the machines in the company and the factories. So I ensure to praise her so that she's all the time on my side.
So maybe
and by the way, we have to... It's one of our responsibilities as a man is to be a good husband. You know, wherever I go, I ensure I take something for my wife from that place as a souvenir, so that she thinks that she's always been thought about.
Okay, so that we have to ensure. Okay, so if one day you could have had a dinner with any historical figure, who would that person be?
I think it's you.
Ah, come on.
But I think...
no, I'm not yet historical. I'm still present.
I think Tarunji has taken that chance today afternoon. He offered a nice Chinese lunch at the restaurant. So, but I think, see, I'm a unique personality where I never felt like I want to meet this celebrity, that celebrity. But the only time I felt was I want to meet Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. And when I met him, world felt like it stopped for a second. But after a minute, I realized this is just one of the achievements, but the world is moving. Yeah. So every time you achieve something, you feel like, that's it, I have done it. And then when you actually step back and say, oh, world is the same. I think you have to do much more. You have to walk miles together before you sleep. I think that's what I always remember. And keep doing new things. Keep aiming for great heights. I think that's what my mind seeks. Because people like me cannot sit idle. Because our minds are always craving for a change and craving to do something different. Craving to achieve something different. I think that's what I always want to. If I meet someone, I would ensure to achieve something new.
And absolutely. Thank you very much. In fact, I read President Abdul Kalam's books in 2008, I think, India 2020 and Wings of Fire. And obviously, he's a personality which...
Don't worry, you will get a white pass with this photograph. You will get directly into Rashtrapati Bhavan.
Thank you. So since, after this event, we're going to have some music. and we are expecting you to dance. So we would definitely like to know the song which is guaranteed to make you dance.
I think Tu Mil Gaya in Srikanth Bolla, the movie Srikanth, because that nicely portrays my romantic love story. Because people think people who doesn't have eyes are not romantic, but that's not true. Because people has eyes by all means. So I think I had a beautiful love story, and I had beautiful life so far. Because I don't see challenges as challenges or negativities as negativities. I see challenges as opportunities and the biggest blessings for me. That's why I tell you, I love the people who had challenged me in the past and even today. Because if those people are not there, I would be of nowhere. I would be like sitting in your chairs, maybe, perhaps. I would not be sitting on the stage. That's why I love those people who had criticized me. I love those people who had challenged me. And I loved those people who had hated me because they made me what I am today.
Thank you. Team, while doing these questions, actually I did not realize how much time I've taken, so thank you very much. I know I wanted to ask audiences a few questions, but possibly we'll do it over the event. The only thing is, yes, in the audience, Srikanth, we have a person with us who unfortunately got visually challenged during her job with us.
Okay.
And for the last 13, 14 years, she's been working with us. Her
nice.
name is Misha
Brilliant.
Arora. Misha Arora is part of our finance team, and thanks to my finance head, Naveen, who has made her as an inclusive part of the team. She would like to ask a question. She is with us in the audience today.
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Sunil, so much, and good evening, all. I believe when thinking out of the box becomes ordinary, that's when extraordinary is born, and that's, I think, me including, and everyone see you, Srikanth. So I really admire how you, never seen your lack of sight as an obstacle, but accepted the challenge and created the vision which surpassed beyond limits with your perseverance and resilience. So I have two questions actually. So the first one is, what inspired you the most to always propel forward with myriad of challenges in physical, social, and the digital domain? And the other one I would like to ask is, how did the lack of sight influence your choice of business venture?
Okay. So,
And sorry.
understood. So first thing, the second question is easy to, for your first question, you have partly answered what I want to say, right? I mean, for the last 1 hour, the central line that we have been talking is, challenges is what is going to create new opportunities for me. So that is what keeps me going every day. If I don't see anybody challenging me, that's when I become restless. Because as I said, I cannot sit quiet. I have to do new things. So when I wanted to do something in India in terms of business, so I thought about many things. So I love coffee. So even before I came here, they gave me a nice cup of coffee. So whenever I hold a cup in my hand, I feel like, oh, this is a beautiful cup. Who made it? Then when I saw in the US, most of the paper products were made by Dixie or the Solo. And they make it so well, so that we loved using them. And when I have coffee in India, we couldn't find similar products back then. So I used to think, why the Solo and Dixie be made in India? Why should I not build the same Dixie or Solo in India? I think that was one of my vision for coming into Indian cottage industry. You know, when you look at recycling, paper products, packaging products, all these are made by fragmented units who are so-called cottage companies. You know, when I looked at Indian cottage industry, I saw a lot of problems. You know, cottage industry is nothing but subscalable, substandard, low product to enterprise. That's when I see the hope. That's when I see a solution. Because I feel if you can't grow and become efficient and innovate, you'll fall further behind. And this is what inspired this particular Indian cottage segment, is what inspired me to come into an Indian cottage industry and do some magic and create a ripple that would have impact on multiple sectors of India. And that's what we did after 10 years of existence. And one more thing is, when we wanted to start something in environmental sustainability and recycling, because recycling and environmental sustainability was close to my heart when I was studying in the US. Because I have seen beautiful ideas, beautiful models executed in elsewhere of the world. So I thought, when India is generating millions and billions of tons of waste where we don't have options to treat it, then the whole country is going to pile up with the waste that we are going to generate. So I wanted to bring out a solution to reuse, reduce, and recycle and remove the piles of legacy waste that we have in the country. And the third thing is that I want to provide employment opportunities for people who are at the margins of the society. See, I was lucky enough to study and have good mentors and go all the way to America, but many, many people do not have voice to fight like me. So I wanted to be the voice of the voiceless and hire all these people who are at the margins of the society, who does not have employment, because you are lucky enough to find a company who had incubated you with all the facilities, but not everyone do. Most of the corporates would not want to hire people with disabilities 10 years back. But now, that is being sensitized, and many more people are getting opportunities after 15 years, which is a very good sign of development and inclusivity. So I thought, I want to merge all these problems into one, which is be good and do good. That's how Bollant was born, in the area of waste management and recycling. So when everybody was against me for doing this, I was confident enough. Everybody said, "Arey yaar, abhi tak to tu anda to jarur, lekin you are going to become ganda when you take up this kachra and process this." Then I ensured them, don't worry, main to anda jarur hu, but ganda kabhi nahi hota hu. Because it is this ganda that I'm going to take and turn to gold. And 10 years after that, we have just realized that dream. We have recycled millions of tons of municipal paper waste into fresh brown craft paper. We have recycled free-fallen palm leaves from Assam, Kerala, and Karnataka into tableware and packaging products. We have taken millions of tons of sugarcane waste, so-called bagas, into pulp molded products, our food takeaway products, and are selling them in the US, Europe, and other countries. And we have recycled millions of tons of pharma waste into usable products and paint additives and biofuels and much more. We have recycled our own generated boiler ash into mineral products like silica, aluminum, and magnesium, and much more. We at Bollant has no compulsion on what we can recycle. This is what keeps me going. I said, new ideas, thirst for new knowledge, new learning is what keeps me going. Because learning for me is a never-ending process. I am always hungry for learning. And my willingness to learn and go beyond my boundaries is what allows me to aim much higher and create that hardship and make sure the whole world is behind me to help me succeed. Now, on your last question, I forgot your last question, sorry. See, I have a short-term memory now. That's a challenge.
Okay.
Choice of the venture. So I think you answered that.
Yes, I have combinedly answered. That's what I want you to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think that's really enlightening and impressive. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Learning
Keep up the
without
great
any
spirit
boundaries.
and keep
Yeah.
doing what you're doing. I think, we have a standing example among us, my dear friends. To be born visually challenged is the easiest and a blessing. But losing eyesight on the way is the biggest surprise that you could ever witness. I think we applaud you, ma'am, because the way you coped up and the way you turned yourself is very, very, very inspiring. Because I have seen a lot of people becoming vegetables after they lose their eyesight in accidents. To those, I tell you, you are the living example.
Thank you. Thank you, Srikanth.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your patient hearing. And after strong technical presentations, I hope we have taken you on a different road. And today, I hope we have given you a road to walk on which is going to be your only way and the highway to achieve great success in life. Because whatever I think, whatever I did so far is nothing. Picture abhi baki hai, because I have to act in my sequel too.
Yes.
So let's all do great things. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was really, really a pleasure. And I have no words to express. I'm normally not short of words, but today I'm short of words to express my thank you to you.
Thank you.
And the whole team is giving a standing ovation for you. I think they have really, really enjoyed it. Can I call on stage Daniel to just have a small token of appreciation for you, Srikanth?
Thank you. Please come.
Yeah. Come, Daniel.
Daniel ji, please come.
I think I'll just keep it on the stage for you. Yeah, you can.
You know, when I was playing cricket, I couldn't lift the trophy because I had to go to America, but this looks like a good trophy for me to lift it. So thank you for fulfilling the unfulfilled fantasy.
No, in India, it's a mark of respect for. So thank you very much again.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. Thank you. Many gifts today means I have to do much more.
We have one more.
Oh, thank
Take something back.
So I think you're allowing me to take something back for her so that she won't be angry.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Srikanth. I
Thank
think
you
Tarun
very
will
much,
just take you
everybody.
through.
Looking forward to meeting you. Thank you. Thank you.